See, I'm so consumed in bed. To me, I'm on beyond the barrel. What I see takes over me. I'm blind beyond the barrel.
We are live here at the fucking On a Forklift arena in my apartment. My name is Clinton Davis. You know you can find us every single fucking Wednesday on Twitch and YouTube. And to my right is my co-host Ethan Hubbard. And we're gonna kick this shit off right. Hey Russ, do your thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, On a Forklift proudly brings to you its podcast champions, Clint and Ethan. And me. By the way, I brought something.
Oh. Oh, are you gonna hit me in the head unprotected with it?
No, this isn't for you. It's not for Ethan. This is for Trevor. Just in case. You know, I don't want to light the pipe bomb. All right, I don't want to. But I'm going to light the pipe bomb a little bit. You know, Trevor likes to talk a lot of crap. All right? And Trevor claims that he had written a promo that he was going to cut on, I believe, you and me. There is no proof of this promo. And the problem is that Trevor goes about promos the way that Cody Rhodes does. He writes them ahead of time. He rehearses them. He gets feedback. And ultimately fails to deliver. And that's what happened. But I have this chair just in case. This is my insurance policy in case he hops on a plane and barges through my door and gets in my face. So I'm excited, guys.
Well, if he's got a cue stick, you're pretty fucked. I'm not going to lie to you. That motherfucker is a wizard with a pool stick.
Apparently he's good billiards. A little billiards wizard.
Yeah, he's Trevor Davis. He's the happiest fourth place bowling champion we've ever seen.
Guys, I threw my back out bowling over the weekend. It was a blast. I have not bowled. I can pinpoint the exact day that I bowled.
We are not even 2 minutes into this podcast, and I'm already. You know what? Fuck this. I'm tired of just holding back on this.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay. And that is On a Forklift for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you follow on Twitter On a Forklift.
But we are on a forklift.
How fucking peeled out would people be if we just did that?
We are on a forklift. My name is Clinton Davis. You can find me at PK Batman on Twitter. To my right is my lovely, lovely co-host. That'd be Ethan Hubbard, and you can find him
clearly not talking at Jensen Collins 3 on Twitter. And below us, in the jaws of action, we have one Russell Joy.
And you can find him.
You can find me on Twitter at Joy on Broad. That's it.
And you know what, guys? I got a motto for us now. We're not a good podcast. We're not a bad podcast. We're all right.
I don't strive to be anything but mediocre.
Set the bar low.
You'll never
always surprised when you exceed expectations. That if you never set expectations, you can never be disappointed. That is a motto to live by.
My favorite thing is I myself am never disappointed, but if everybody else's expectations for me are low, they're amazed when I give minimal effort.
I'm getting high and drunk, so I don't know what people think about me. I've got two of these bitches, and let me tell you guys, I'm a lightweight when it comes to drinking. Two of these things are going to put me to sleep.
Voodoo Ranger.
Yeah,
it's a Ranger over there.
It's 9%.
Wow.
Yeah, I like. Lynette just keeps giving me good beer. And this is mine and Tony's golfing beer. Every time I go golfing, this is the third hole.
It's an improvement for him too, because he had a shorty last year. That's a tall boy. He had a pint of it last year, and he was fucked up after 2 holes of golf. I'm
a fucking lightweight. But what they don't tell you is
we
go golfing at 7 a.m. after I do a whole bunch of fucking dabs and edibles the night before, and I'm smoking this bitch just to wake up in the morning.
He took 17
looks like
swings on
is that
par
Harry
3.
Potter's wand? Is that what that is? Is that a wand right there?
I don't want to talk about the 17 strokes on 17 because that's obviously the worst moment of my life is when I stroked out on the 17th hole.
It was a par 3, by the way.
It was a par 3. I couldn't fucking connect with a 7-iron off the tee. I was as disappointed in myself as everyone was making fun of me.
He was
if
as
you're watching
disappointed in
out
himself as Russ is disappointed in Tony Khan's booking.
Wow.
Russ,
You know, I was gonna say, if you're out there watching, thinking to yourself, hold on, isn't Clint usually the one who freaks out when the show goes off the rails? Clint is now one half of the reason that the show just went off the rails there for a bit about golf.
I don't give a shit
So,
anymore. I'm done fighting you for control of my podcast.
I'm gonna steer the ship for a little bit right here. Hey guys, can we talk about really quickly? Isn't it nice when Tony Khan books a show that allows the matches and the promos to breathe? Isn't that nice? I feel like I went to a spa day. I've never had a spa day, but I feel like that's what it's supposed to feel like. Instead of the frenetic kind of like ADD fever dream that Tony Khan likes to typically book. I feel excited for Double or Nothing. But I do have to point out, as I did on Twitter, @JoyOnBroad, that a number of promos we heard tonight, they're great, but they're a few weeks too late. Now, are we excited for the pay-per-view? We sure are. If you had delivered a couple of these promos over the last 2 or 3 weeks, would we have been more excited and had a bigger build? Yeah, we would have. But listen, beggars can't be choosers, and here we are. We're pro wrestling fans, so we are inherently beggars. Just begging, please give us something enticing to watch and to enjoy and to talk about, and here we are.
That's what all we want in wrestling, is to be able to enjoy the product that we're watching. And for Dynamite the past few weeks, it's been great first hour. They have a segment that goes from that first hour into the second hour, which is okay, and it's just downhill from there. I have a few negatives for the show, so you guys are going to love me because I know how much you guys love being negative about Dynamite. Britt Baker winning against Toni Storm is a mistake because now it is clear as fucking day that Adam Cole and Britt Baker are both winning the Owen Hart Cup, and they're going to do the whole couples thing. Okay, let me hear you. Who's going to win?
Disagree.
You think Joe's going to win?
Do I think Samoa Joe is going to win? No. I think you're going to see Chris Statlander win for the women, which is going to be a very confusing decision. But I like Chris Statlander, so I'm okay with it. Here's the problem, okay? Let's go back to something that I've long held on to as a problem with optics. Mm-hmm. We're going to have Samoa Joe, who's over 300 pounds, taking on Adam Cole, who weighs about as much as my 7-year-old. So if we put these two people in a ring together, all right, I want you to imagine like a Buca de Beppa meatball, if you know what that is. Or like imagine just some nonna out there, making a gigantic meatball. Okay, we got that on one side. But this meatball can like beat the shit out of you. And then we
Italy's
have this
not
one
real,
over
Russ,
here.
but I appreciate it.
Thank you. You got to have a little appreciation sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. But then on the other side, you've got a proverbial stick figure, like Slender Man as a pro wrestler. The funny thing was, I think it was JR. I want to say it was JR. Said, by God, this is going to be possibly the best wrestling match of the weekend. Oh, okay. I don't know how you make it believable. JR. Didn't JR say it, or was it Shivani? One of them said...
No, I mean, who's going to be the best match of the weekend?
The best wrestling match of the weekend could have been Samoa Joe and Adam Cole. It was right before Dynamite went off the air. They showed the graphic. And all I could think to myself is, no, there is no way to plausibly put these two together and to make it seem like Adam Cole is a threat to Samoa Joe. The only thing that you can do between now and then, and it would be a very intelligent thing to do, and we know that Rampage gets taped after Dynamite, is to have the Undisputed Elite attack Samoa Joe backstage as he's recovering from his match and go after the arm again. Because then you have a super vulnerable spot. Kyle O'Reilly did a great job focusing in on the arm. You make it a plausible thing for Adam Cole to have a shot. Like, there is one way that he can pick up a win. The problem is, Adam Cole isn't a submission artist. It doesn't make a ton of sense. He didn't have a finisher that really goes with it. I guess he can apply an armbar, but optics-wise, these two don't work. It should be Samoa Joe winning. So I've got Samoa Joe, and I've got Chris Statlander. I don't know how you could possibly have Adam Cole win this. Doesn't make any sense.
Low blow and a couple knees to the back of the head.
and the Young Bucks and
I think
Red
the Young Bucks are going to
Dragon
be
and, like-
preoccupied.
Your final match. Now, hindsight, because hindsight's a bitch. Your final match should have been Adam Cole and Dax Harwood, and it should have been that exact match they had. That should have
Yep.
been on pay-per-view. Because if you do that during the if that's your marquee match during the Owen Cup, that's first off, we see the wave that Dax is riding after that, which we'll get to the New Japan stuff that hit and the stuff that missed in a little bit. But
A lot of it.
that Grado Cobb's North American television. Jeff Cobb needs more American TV time, but he would be. Jeff Cobb is an insanely credible threat, but he doesn't have enough TV time to know how to use that appropriately for an audience. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of negatives about tonight other than the Jericho Appreciation Society bit. I didn't need that. I love William Regal being on TV, but I did not need that. That was the one thing that got added to the card that we all looked at and went unnecessary. It didn't need to be there.
That fucking Thunder Rosa promo sucked. I hated it. That promo made me want to get the belt off of Thunder Rosa.
It was a bad
don't
promo,
worry.
but it deserved to
Don't
be on
worry.
the show
Yeah, because she's only been on TV 11 fucking minutes since she won the goddamn belt.
because she's injured.
2 months ago. 2 months ago.
Injured my
Two.
fucking dick. She's still wrestling for Warrior Wrestling.
Yep.
She ain't fucking injured. They just don't know what to do with her.
This
You know what to do
is,
with
and
her?
now guys,
Hold
we can do something here that needs to happen, right? We can turn the page from an unbelievably underwhelming title picture in this company's history. This whole chapter, with the exception of Jade Cargill, has been a pile of steamy dog shit, right? Thunder Rosa has 11 minutes. People freak out about it. What is Thunder Rosa exactly good at, right? Does she cut a great promo? No. Is her in-ring work anything to really write home about? Not really. She's solid. She's not a bad wrestler.
She connects
Is
with the
she-
fans.
She connects as somebody who is good for the chase, which is exactly the problem with Hangman Adam Page. Before tonight, I want to get back to that in a sec. Hangman is all about the pursuit, right? It was about the culmination, the long-term storytelling of him pulling off the win against Kenny Omega. And everything since then has just kind of felt underwhelming. The matches are good, but everything else sucks. Tonight actually felt like the first time that young Adam Page showed up ready to go to work and ready to go to work on the mic. It's the first time that I can think of that I've been legitimately impressed with him on the mic. And all I kept thinking was, I know he had COVID. I know it probably, janked things up a bit. You go back to when CM Punk did the walk around the ring promo. That was supposed to be when they had their face off. If the idea was that this kind of promo was going to happen 2 weeks ago, spot on, perfect. I will take back all the bad things I've said. But if that's not the case, if this was meant to be tonight, terrible decision. It's good. It's good for the short term. But man, like building up Hangman as like a quasi heel and as like the third straight opponent now who has gone out of their way to mention that nobody wants CM Punk in AEW. He didn't say no one wants you here, but he alluded to it. That's now MJF, Eddie Kingston, switch those in order, and now Hangman Page that have effectively said, you didn't belong here. It's a good story.
It is.
I
It is
agree.
a really
Good narrative,
story.
a good narrative thread, if you
It would have been good to start 3 fucking weeks ago.
So
Yep.
flip these last 2 weeks. That promo happens last week, and then this week is the Takeshita match or Takeshita match.
Mm-hmm.
That match happens this week, which I thought was a fantastic match and actually one of Adam Page's better ones in AEW. But you had that promo leads into what's going on, or move, like you guys are saying, move everything down, then have something happen to this. This tonight needed to be a promo. You don't put your champion in action the night before the show. My opinion, anyway.
This promo 3 weeks ago, Takeshita match
Yes.
stays last week, and then you have
Yes.
something else here.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys have hit that on the head. Then you hit the nail on the head. That it would have made this whole thing infinitely better. Because right now I'm rolling into, in my own opinion, this has been a hastily put together program. The only thing that I feel really has motion towards it, other than the matches for the Owen Cup, is MJF and Wardlow, which is what we know has been building. I am, however, excited for that triple threat tag team match, because I think that match is going to, I think it's going to be one of the better. I'm not a big triple threat tag team match. I like tornado tags and stuff like that, but like for a title, for big impact, I usually just like the two teams. But I think these guys are going to work really well together, and so I'm excited about that. But
does anyone else feel it's disrespectful to Jurassic Express that they've never had a one-on-one, they've never had a 2-on-2 tag match? Look how beautiful my roommate is. Look at this. He's bringing me home some fucking food. What a beautiful human being.
What are we looking at there?
It's called Savvy Sliders. It's a little burger joint that
sounds like that sounds like what you're going to call your turds as they're flying out at a precipitous speed tomorrow morning.
Dog, I had poutine today, and I just started eating cheese after 30 years. Yeah, I'm going to die tomorrow.
You think it's going to wait until tomorrow morning?
Oh, God, no. This shit's happening tonight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It moves quick.
I've got the water slide getting ready for it.
Your question of, is it disrespectful that Jurassic Express? No, none of it's disrespectful. The disrespect is that we had to watch a title reign of Jurassic Express. That's what was disrespectful. Here's the question, because we know that they're going to lose the belts. How do we get from, I think I know, Jungle Boy is going to make a stupid mistake at Double or Nothing that's going to cost Jurassic Express the tag titles. He's going to go for a move that he shouldn't, or he's going to get kind of like off kilter. He's going to lose focus. They're going to lose the tag belts. And maybe that's the thing that sets up the rivalry, that sets up like the program with him and Christian Cage. But like, there's another start and stop. 3 weeks ago, it looked like Christian Cage was going to potentially, like, we were starting to plant the seeds of a little turn. And then the last couple of weeks, it's just kind of like, that's okay, little buddy, you know?
He's gonna turn so fucking hard,
and it's gonna be good. And like, thank God. Like, what you mean? We don't have a place for Christian Cage. Like, really? there's nowhere that you can put Christian. He main evented a pay-per-view last year. He beat Kenny Omega last year. We haven't had a place for him anywhere. We had time for Maki Ito, but we don't have time for Christian Cage.
Listen,
there it is.
Listen.
It's his one for the night. That's
it. That's it.
Christian Cage versus Britt Baker. Who says no? No, go ahead.
Look, you know what though? That does bring up a good point, that there's a lot of people that we haven't seen, and it's not to point out Maki Ito. There's a million other people you could switch out in that spot for people that either should be on TV or were celebrated to an extent that we should see them on TV more when they came in that aren't. I think, and this is me just painting a picture. So Jungle Boy's in the ring. Jungle Boy takes the pin. In my opinion, Jungle Boy takes the pin to lose the title. Well, I know, hot, right? Jungle Boy takes the pin. He's down there. He's just super full of emotion. You get Christian up. He hugs him. Everything goes down. And dude, he's hitting he's just gonna ruin it. So he's just gonna ruin this dude's life. Jungle Boy's, just kind of gonna have that push off, go to walk away, and he's just getting hit with an unprettier. It's happening.
I've got the flip.
Yeah.
Flip side. Okay. Jungle Boy takes the pin. Really awful moment. Jungle Boy does like the whole brooding Gen Zer thing, right? He's off kind of like weeping in the corner like he did when he didn't want to hold the belt up, and then like when he lost in the Owen Cup, right? And he's like hanging over the rope. And Christian Cage goes over and he's like, dude, like, man up. Like, let's go. And like is kind of consoling. And Jungle Boy shoves him away. And Jungle Boy kind of stands his ground. And he's like, don't talk to me like I'm a child. And we get a little bit of tension, maybe a low blow thrown in there. Maybe
you're not my dad.
I'm sorry. Jungle Boy throws the first punch.
Russ.
Who knows?
Russ, please give me 1 second here. Ethan, this is for you.
Shut the fuck up.
All right, continue, Russ.
Sorry.
That was it. What did you do, Ethan? I didn't even hear what you did. What was it?
I said, you're not my dad.
Okay.
Not you.
Okay.
Jungle Boy says that to Christian.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say I don't think genetically or biologically I could be your dad. There's also that, but I
Time
wasn't
travel.
confused on that one.
No. Yeah, it's although you know what, dead honest though. Oh, God, that's a terrible fucking word. I'm horrible at this. I feel like Luke Perry would be like okay with a storyline like that. He was super into the wrestling, so
I still get that photo of him at his son's PWG debut. That shit hits hard.
What if we find out that Jungle Boy is actually Eddie Guerrero's bastard child? Like, what if that's the case? He and Dominic Mysterio are actually brothers. No,
fuck. And I almost
I
sprayed.
wanted to get you.
I almost sprayed.
That.
You almost got me.
I was so close.
You
I was so close. So anyway, we could potentially here get the belt off Thunder Rosa, which is good. We could potentially get the belt off of Hangman Page, which I don't know. Now I'm a little bit iffy. We'll definitely get the belts off of Jurassic Express. I think the hottest take of the night in our group chat was it Clint who said he thought that Anna Jay might beat Jade Cargill? Was that Clint?
Yes, it was.
Yep. Hi.
I
that's me.
need Clint. I need you to explain what kind of shrooms or whatever it is that you do. Were you on like a DMT voyage to like celestial bodies? Like what are please explain. How do you get Anna Jay beating Jade Cargill? You don't even believe it. There's no way you believe it. There's
That
none.
main event seed needs Jade Cargill. I'm not saying.
Why not?
Hold on. I'm not saying it's the right decision. I'm saying. Oh fuck.
Why not have Jade hold both titles?
There you go.
I agree, but they're not going to do that this early.
Goldberg treatment.
They're not
Goldberg
going to do
treatment.
that this early.
What was the title that Goldberg had? Was it the U.S. title?
U.S. title.
He had the U.S. title, and then he took down. Then he took down Hogan, right? That was the Nitro in Atlanta.
Yeah, 40,000.
Jade Cargill could carry the division with both belts, and then in a way to get a belt off of her without her losing her streak, she hands the TBS title to Red Velvet as a. Now that I've kind of reached the summit, you can hold this down.
Yeah,
like you're a proxy.
Yeah,
for me.
You know? Use the baddies as her, like you said, proxy. Have them fight. Have them battle a couple of matches. Red Velvet goes on a 5 match win streak or something. You've proven yourself. Here's your belt.
Yep. Exactly.
And then she loses it on the first defense. Not Jade. I'm talking about the TBS title one of the baddies are defending.
No, I don't give a shit after you hand it off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They lose it.
Here's the really good question. When after Forbidden Door, it's what, Full Gear? Is Full Gear the next one, or is it All Out?
Full Gear.
It's Full Gear.
Full Gear. So, All Out. I'm sorry. All Out.
Yeah.
It is All Out. Okay. So let me just throw this out here. Jade Cargill eventually goes on this run and wins the women's world title. And then we hear like music we've never heard before. Like she's going to win it at All Out. But for the first time ever, the women's title match is going to main event the pay-per-view. Jade Cargill wins. Looks unstoppable. Who can beat Jade Cargill? And then we hear a lightsaber or something. And who comes out? By God, that's Mercedes Varnado's music. By God.
Who?
Mercedes Varnado. Sasha Banks.
Oh, fuck yeah. Excuse me.
Lost.
I thought you were just being ultra offensive pronouncing Mercedes Martinez's name.
No.
Okay.
So do you have
Spanish? Why would I do that? But no.
Do you have Katie Sackhoff come out there and like introduce her like in the full Bo-Katan Kryze like armor? I would have to find a way.
I don't know. Adam Cole once showed up dressed up like Master Chief, so who knows?
No. He showed up dressed up like a chibi Master Chief.
He was Master Queef.
It was not good.
Shitty Master Chief.
bro. I feel like okay, so he's good friends with Austin.
Did I just
Creed.
pop Russ? Did I just pop
did.
Russ?
He's good friends with Austin Creed.
Oh, God.
As not great, but as good as their Saiyan costumes were for the New Day, you couldn't have like found a way to get in touch with somebody, some work on the side for that shit. It just wasn't. It literally looked like he stole like a laser tag gear and just spray painted it green.
Yep.
Especially considering how good their Ghostbuster shit was. Because the Ghostbuster stuff is solid.
Is there a path to Sasha Banks ending up in AEW? Like, I feel like WWE is going to really stick it to her, and we're going to have like a long. I don't know how much time's left on the contract, but you know they do this weird stuff with the injuries where they just tack all that time on to the end. Like, I don't know how close or far. Yeah, like I don't know how close or far they are from it. I still am resolute in this belief. Clint, make sure you mark this because I think this is going to prove to be one of those Rustradamus moments. I think ultimately what we're going to see play out, and I think I said this before, was it last week maybe? I think what will end up happening is there's going to be a lot of posturing between Sasha Banks' camp and the WWE, and ultimately Sasha Banks' camp is going to say, if you continue to push this, we are going to file a class action suit, or we are going to try to get this to the Supreme Court, and we're going to contest the idea of freelance of 1099 workers being held to these kind of ridiculous no competes and to some of the ridiculous conditions that are, you know, outlined in a WWE contract. And ultimately, that is horrific business. If you owe it to your shareholders to keep that stock high, you cannot get into that kind of a nasty public battle. And I think she'll end up getting her release. I don't know what the turnaround time is going to be on a no compete, or if it really is just going to be she's given her full and outright release. But I think that's what's going to end up happening. You heard it here first. Let's bring this back in, I don't know, 2 months when it happens. And you see Mercedes Varnado at All Out. Just saying.
So
throwing it out there.
My theory on things like this, and this isn't me talking bad, because I think it's something that needs to happen. My own personal opinion, from having seen a little bit of the inside of the business, that's something that needs to happen. It doesn't work at a lower level. Like you would need like a countrywide union, and then you would need to pull from that union pool to have like local shows and shit like that, as long as there's somebody paying dues. So on like a small level, it doesn't work. But televised shows, your Ring of Honor, your AEW, your WWE, New Japan, things like that operate within, you know, wherever you're at, continental United States, Europe, shit like that. It's going to happen at some point, and it needs to happen because these workers are being taken advantage of. When somebody looks at a contract and they go, "Oh, hey, yeah, but they're making $1 million." Okay, but they're having to pay a shit ton on their medical bills and stuff like that. This needs to happen for these people. It needs to happen, and it's not from like a selfish point or because I have friends that do this stuff that I want to see them succeed. I'm tired of Dark Side of the Ring things where people are dying because they don't have fucking mental health that's not affordable or supplied afterwards.
I actually have a poignant point to this.
Yes, and you're pointing at the ceiling.
Yeah, I know. So I started listening to audiobooks, so I picked up the Young Bucks book. And I've been listening to that, and they got to the section today where they talked about their time with TNA and the amount that they were paid and the amount of limitations that they had and the stuff that they made them do when they signed those contracts. They were just like, we were getting paid $300 per appearance. We had to cut our hair. We had to change our whole look and everything like that for them. We couldn't work for any industry that had like TV and shit like that. So like, okay. Yeah, like that shit right there. Like the wrestlers absolutely need to unionize, and they need to get paid what they're owed and have their shit covered because they were getting paid $300 an appearance, no travel coverage, no hotel stay coverage, none of that shit. They had to pay for that shit on their own. So essentially you were going there to work for free at the end of the day.
I mean, there is the case to be made about like that. There is the notion of paying your dues, right, as you're working your way up through. Having a union is nice in theory, but having a union is not a perfect outcome.
It's not, But in some
collective
circumstances,
bargaining can be accomplished without a union. You can have, what are essentially, the hell's it called? It's not freebird rights. It's a right to. It'll come to me. There is a way to be like tangentially identified as like a sort of union, but not in full. There's nothing wrong with having attorneys pull together and work on some form of collective bargaining. But you don't need all the other nonsense that goes with the union, because what will ultimately end up happening is a lot of the higher performers, a lot of the higher earning performers aren't going to go along with it. And they're the ones who actually matter, right? Because you're going to be capped at what you can make, or you're going to be capped at the kind of deal that you work out, or the certain number of dates you can work out. And then what ends up happening is you get pressured by everybody else. You get pressured by all these people who are, like, let's say it's going through NXT, or it's somebody who just broke on to Raw. Well, that person's not going to be thrilled with the amount of, dates that they're working on house shows. I don't think a union's the way to go here. I get, in theory, why people think that it would be a good idea. I think it's more about just collective bargaining and about having certain protections in place for employees. And even if that means that you're going to be a 1099 worker, I mean, it sucks, right? But if there are guarantees in place and you can get these people insurance and you can get these people some guarantees to offset the cost of some of their travel, then it's okay. There is a happy medium here. It's just that it currently exists so far over here, and a lot of Twitter's opinions on it is like way over here. There's an okay middle ground that you can work to, and it's actually fine.
I mean, the main thing here is they want job security, because, like, look at these fucking releases from WWE. They're showing up, they're picking up their whole lives and moving to Orlando to work for NXT, and then the release 2 weeks later after they just picked up their whole fucking lives and moved. Like, I get business. I do. I'm not an idiot. I've been in businesses my whole fucking since I've been like 14 years old. I've been working. I understand how that shit works. But in the same token, you need to make sure that your employees are protected. I think the whole thing of when I do agree that there should be certain contract clauses like, yo, if you're injured during this time, we just add that onto your contract. If that's agreed beforehand, then kudos to WWE for securing that person to make sure they don't go work anywhere else. But at least that person has job security right there, that when they were off those 6 months, they were still getting paid whatever they were, and then they're going to come back and get paid for an additional 6 months past their contract.
I don't know if that's true, though. I don't know if while they're out injured, if they're still getting paid their full salary, if it's a prorated salary. Like, I'm not
It's
positive.
a prorated salary, I assume.
We're assuming.
Yeah, I assume. But I like to think that because I've heard from several wrestlers that have worked for the WWE that they do get paid when they're off with injury. That they are taken care of. Like they've said, WWE took care of everything for us while we were off.
Well,
whether or not that agrees to, like, when you come back for the 6 months that you were injured, that we added onto your contract, it's a lesser rate because we paid you when you were out.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't know WWE's books, because they keep that shit pretty locked to the chest when it comes to shit like that.
Which is interesting because they're a public company.
I don't know. I'm not that. Russ and Ethan are the two people for that question. So do they pay for athletes in other sports when they get injured?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's generally your term of your contract. It's your contract doesn't go out like, so with WWE, when it goes on a freeze, that doesn't happen in pro sports. Like Jeff Okuda, he's been with the Lions for 2 years. He's played a total of 4 games. He's still getting paid his guaranteed money from his rookie contract signing, plus a signing bonus. It doesn't just stop.
Yeah.
And you don't get to tack time on, but yeah, the only time that you'll see a pro athlete not get paid their salary is if there was a breach of contract. Like years ago when Ben Roethlisberger got into a motorcycle accident. Of course, the rapist, I'm sorry, not the rapist, the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, allegedly quarterback, definitely rapist. No, I'm just kidding. It's the other way. I think. We don't actually know. I don't know.
Watch
there
that
was,
word.
The whole thing with the
hold
bouncer.
On. We can't say that word on Twitter, actually. We can't say that word on Twitch, actually. The R word.
We can't?
We can't.
I didn't say anything. I said therapist. I said he's the therapist. Yeah.
Sexual assault burger.
Dun, dun, dun.
If you remember, he got in a motorcycle accident, and the question was, are they going to be able to void his contract for it? if you're in breach of contract, like if there were specific terms that you're not allowed to do something and you ended up sustaining an injury because of it, well, then the team can go after that money. Or like in the case of this year in the NBA, Ben Simmons decided, to just like be an absolute weenie and refuse to play for the Sixers. And so he had his money withheld. He had his salary withheld. And then he's trying to file a grievance. He didn't suit up for the Nets, and that's going to be a big disaster. And he's going to blow up collective bargaining for the NBA because he's a spoiled brat. But whatever, that's a whole other thing. Yes, players continue to get paid in professional sports. And
then there's a case of.
I mean, the only sport that you see a guy get cut is maybe football, right? Because the contracts aren't guaranteed in the way that they are in other sports.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. But
hockey's got a little bit of that going on right now, mostly in the minor leagues. Because two-way contracts aren't exactly fully guaranteed either, but you do see guys getting cut for things like that.
Yeah.
There was actually, and then there's a case of stuff getting written into pro athlete contracts of like can't do things like Joel Zumaya when he injured himself playing Guitar Hero, so his contract was rewritten to state that he could not play Guitar Hero.
What kind of punk bitch
But he
gets
could play
injured
Rock Band.
playing Guitar Hero?
Right. No, I think it said video games with musical peripherals is what was written into his contract.
What did he do? Spin the guitar and smack himself in the face?
No. It was tendon damage on his hand from, it was just dumb. But there's guys that have been fucked up with pillows and tripping downstairs. Oh God, what was his name?
Chester Fucknuts.
No, his uncle also was a tight end in the NFL, and he played for the Lions for a second.
Brutalitity.
It didn't matter. Anyway, he tripped on
Johnny Shit Knuckles.
He literally something was on his stairs, and he tripped on his stairs, and he fell, and he hit his butt or something like that, and he was done for the rest of the year.
All right, so I'm going to get us back on track here because we are a little sidetracked here. So we're going to do predictions for Double or Nothing coming up this Sunday. You guys will be watching it live. I'll be watching it at midnight. So I'll be removing myself from the group chat for 4 hours until I watch this shit. But we're going to start.
We'll just go mute.
Yeah, Ethan and I are going to be doing this on a live stream. We'll be doing our live reactions.
I can set you guys up to do that if you want.
Channel picks us up for our wonderful reactions. It's going to be great.
Are you going to have Kevin over on Sunday night still?
Maybe. I'll probably have Kevin and Tony over. And Trevor.
Yeah, I mean, I can get it to where you guys can just live stream the whole shit, like your guys' reactions and everything.
We'll see. We'll talk about that. But anyway, back to the predictions.
So Chris here is putting money on whomever Russ picks because you want to know why? Russ is a sports betting analysis. So DraftKings.com. We're not supported, but we are big fans of BetterHelp.com. Take care of yourself mentally. Go to BetterHelp.com. If you want a link, I'll send you a link. It gets you a free.
If you want to find the therapist. See? I was foreshadowing, guys. Foreshadowing.
So let's start here. This is the first ever prediction off for On a Forklift featuring all four of us. Russ and Trevor, would you guys like to cut promos on one another? I'll soapbox you for it.
I'm good right now.
I'm going to get Trevor. Produce the results.
You know what? Kiss my ass. There's my promo. I'm kidding.
That's the
promo? I'm in a good mood because of this.
Somebody who likes to break my furniture.
Oh, give me a break. You want me to break it? I'll put you through it on Sunday. We'll just call
I've already broken enough furniture by putting Clinton into it. Why do I need to be
dog, I one wing angeled him on his fucking ottoman one time and his wife was pissed.
I mean,
I was like, Sam, look what I'm gonna do. Crunch.
You got your insurance policy there, Russ?
J-Fam, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the chat.
Frog.
All right, let's start with the pre-show match.
I'm just sitting here. I thought about cutting a promo, and I realized that, the billiards master over there, for me to pull something out like nothing, that would be like hitting the ultimate trick shot. The only magic ball that I think we can pull out here is that if Trevor, based on the hairline right now, isn't a cue ball within the next 3 years, that, my friends... I don't know. It's majestic. It's magical. I believe I just put the final ball in the corner pocket Thank you. Tip your waiter or waitress.
You don't even know what the damn
night.
ball is. Wow. Okay. All right.
Wow.
The 8-ball. The 8-ball. It's the last one.
Wow.
So you know the only place that I can actually come off
Could be 9-ball too.
Wedding.
Who plays 9-ball?
Russ,
What
you made
kind
me
of
fall out of my chair.
psycho plays 9-ball? Huh? Do you play 9-ball? Is that what you just won? I'm not gonna. All right, Trevor. Now you're showing a lot of personal information there on the video, and there
it's
could
only
be
my
internet
name.
sleuths. Trevor,
only
how
my
much
name.
can you let us in on a little? You don't have to give us the actual money based on the cost to enter the tournament versus how much you made. Could you give people like an idea of what the return was? Not the actual money, but it was like 10 times your entry fee? Was it 5 times your entry fee? Was it 120? You know, like what are we looking at?
I get a chance to go to Vegas. That's
He went last year.
yeah.
So good
I
they
like
sent his
this.
ass to Vegas.
Why have you guys
Which
not
if
been
it was
live
this
streaming
weekend, he'd be a
Trevor's-
double or nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
I know,
haven't you
right?
guys been out live streaming Trevor's games? Like, what are you doing? What kind of brother are
It's
you?
Wednesday
Clint? Why-
night,
why
so
are you
we're
the-
here doing a podcast.
We're this.
It's
We're doing
Wednesday
this.
night. You
Yeah,
know what that means.
Yeah, it means Russ is gonna bitch about shit.
I didn't complain. I thought this was a good episode of Dynamite. Have I complained about anything? Have I
No,
even brought
actually,
up
I
the
didn't.
fact that FTR not being on the Double or Nothing card is total bullshit, and we just like went out of our way to bring in yet another New Japan talent who botched twice. He was on TV for about 90 seconds, and he botched 2 moves. Do we talk about that? No. Is that why we don't get FTR on the pay-per-view? Apparently. That's insane. Insane. Lunacy. Horrible
membrane.
booking. That's my only complaint. From tonight, I
Pre-show
think.
match.
That's it.
We have one
Yeah.
pre-show match scheduled right now. It is Hookhausen versus Tony Nese and Mark Sterling. I think this is pretty obvious. I think it's going to be Tony Nese and Mark Sterling.
Hookhausen.
I'm trying.
There's no way
Really?
Hook doesn't turn. There's no way Hook doesn't turn already.
Really?
They're really gonna do that. Last time that happened was Chris Jericho and AJ Styles.
That is definitely not the last time it has happened, my friend. That was in fucking 2018.
I'm going with Danhausen because I don't think Hook loses yet. That's just I don't think there's going to be a loss on his record yet.
I think Hook turns.
He can turn
That's my
after the
whole
match,
thing.
but
Yeah,
he wins.
sure.
Yeah, he could turn after the match, but don't give him a loss. Then
But all they have to do is flash up on the screen fucking 2022 singles record like they do with everyone else. He's still undefeated in
Well.
singles competition. He doesn't eat the
Well,
pin. Danhausen does.
This has become quite the situation. Very nice, very evil. Hookhausen, very nice, very evil. oh, little cough, little phlegm. Little cough, little phlegm, very evil. Hook with the suplex, very nice. And Tony Nese. All right, I'm done. Tony Nese.
I'll go get
What
you
a
a bag
stud.
of chips. And you
What
can
a
just
stud.
choke on
Tony
them.
Nese is a stud. What a freaking physical specimen.
What a premier
And smart Mark
athlete.
Sterling, the brains, premier athlete, premier attorney next to him. I mean, come
The
on. now.
Papas.
I don't actually have a pick for this because this doesn't count for my record. This is going to be like that time that
Pre-shows
Adam
don't
Cole
count.
lost to Orange Cassidy, and it was unsanctioned. This is an unsanctioned pick. Hookhausen wins,
Okay, but everything on the
but
main
it's because
card,
like Hook pins Mark Sterling or something stupid.
everything on the main card has to have a prediction.
You
So
got to
we're
write
gonna
these
start-
down. You've got to track them. We need to know by the end of this, like who
Give me
who
one
was the
second.
most right.
Give me 1 second. I'll bring up a fucking thing.
It doesn't matter
Trevor
who's
and I are
right,
gonna
who's
have a
wrong.
side bet.
Joey's getting pied in the face.
Wait, what was that?
We're gonna have a side bet, me and you.
Oh, we're gonna have a side bet. Okay, well,
Here's
All
how it's
right,
going to work,
so-
Trevor. Whichever
All
one
right.
of us does better gets spotted 10 points on the next trivia game. Now, for those who are good at math and also for Trevor, 10 points can be a big deal in a trivia.
I'm
Yes, it can.
if I RJ, I can't wait to meet you in public because I'm gonna power bomb you through a fucking table as
Can
soon
I-
as I can.
Can I get through one
Trevor's
episode
going
without
to
laughing
jail.
to where I cry? All right.
You were
Moving
just
on.
rolling over on the damn ground laughing.
Yeah, I
man.
was. I am a little drunk.
Hadouken!
I don't know. Okay, we're moving on. The first match, not on the pre-show, is Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay. I know you guys can say Jade. I'm gonna say it's Anna.
I was gonna say Anna.
No, wow. Yeah, it's Jade.
Jade.
Hey, if Jade loses, can we add her to the women's match, the women's world title match, and just like get that ball rolling? Because I'm here for it.
Dude, she
No,
comes in double Claymore, knocks them both out.
All out's where she gets that belt. We'll move on to the next match, though. Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole in the finals of the Owen Hart tournament.
Can this match just not happen? I want Samoa Joe to win, so I'm gonna.
I think Adam Cole's gonna win
with interference.
Yeah, I think Cole's gonna win with interference.
I want to believe that Tony Khan is afraid of Samoa Joe. That he thinks Samoa Joe will come through the curtain and rip his head off. I'm gonna go Samoa Joe.
Okay.
You got to build your monster. If you actually care about Ring of Honor, you kind of have to build that monster. You've got to have somebody that people tune into.
You said Cole?
No, So I'm doing this. I know it's possibly going to be Cole because he's going to have interference. Somebody's going to do something to Samoa Joe, but I'm thinking Joe's going to outcome that and just beat the living hell out of Cole and everybody else. So I'm going to go with Joe.
All right. Whew, getting all these in. You guys are making me work tonight.
Joe.
The next match on the card is Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho / Chris Statlander.
Statlander.
I'm saying Baker.
Britt Baker. I said Chris Statlander earlier in the show, but I think it's going to be Baker. Because if Cole is going to lose, they're not going to have them both lose. Jamie Hayter also came out to interfere. Jamie Hayter's not against Britt. So, yeah, Britt Baker wins. Beats
Thunder
Statlander.
Rosa Serena Deeb.
Rosa.
She's at least going to get one pay-per-view title.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. I think Deeb needs to win this, but I think it is going to be Rosa.
Russ, you said Deeb?
Yes, he did.
Deeb. First transitional champion. Love it.
It should have been whatever. Then we move on to the trios tag match, which is Jurassic Express versus Team Taz versus Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. I think Team Taz wins.
Would you laugh if I think it's Swerve and Lee?
No, I think Jurassic Express loses the belts.
I'm sorry, Lee is a bigger powerhouse than Powerhouse Hobbs.
Okay,
I'm going with Swerve and Lee.
Who am I? Keith Lee.
Wow, me and Russ agree on something. That's a shock.
I'm on Ricky and Hobbs.
I kind of want Ricky and Hobbs to win. I feel like it makes for better programming for them to kind of be like the smarmy heels that have the titles.
Yeah. Smarmy,
you know what?
yet credible.
Let me change it. Hobbs and Starks. I think Starks is going to steal the pin.
Ethan, you said Team Taz?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lee and Hobbs wipe each other out. Somebody hits a finisher on Jungle Boy. Starks gets the pin on Jungle Boy. And then we got our little Christian Cage thing. And then, Starks and Hobbs get into a thing with FTR. That could be fun.
That could be
a lot of fun. While also Swerve and Keith Lee are off in the distance. Those two need to get to singles runs. Swerve for the TNT title and Keith Lee as a main event guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the tag team. They're fine. I don't have a problem with them. I just don't think that's where
I think keeping them together as a tag team for the time being until they can insert them into those said programs is a good thing because you're getting exposure for both of the guys.
Yeah.
While bolstering your tag division.
The next match on the card is the Jericho Appreciation Society versus Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz, and the Blackpool Combat Club. I think JAS has to win. I don't want them to win, but I think they have to win.
The Jericho Appreciation Society.
I love that entrance. I love that intro from fucking Matt Renaud.
Providing sports entertainment for the last 12 days.
I love that shit. That shit's great.
It's going to be the Combat Club. Blackpool.
Yep,
The
I
BCC.
agree.
I'm gonna go with Jericho, and the only reason is I think it's dissension amongst the ranks in the BCC with Kingston and Danielson. It's you've teased it, you've talked about it. I think they're gonna work together great up until the end when it finally just does. That's the thing. And Kingston's the guy to eat a pin on this one.
Okay. All right, next match on the card is the House of Black versus Death Triangle. House of Black.
House of Black.
Death Triangle.
I think House of Black need to keep this momentum going.
I think Julia Hart costs House of Black this.
I want the House of Black to win. I don't know if they will, but I want them to.
So who are you saying is your pick? Death Triangle? Or
Oh,
House of Black?
I said Black.
Russ.
I'll go with the House of Black.
Even though he was just doing.
If they lose, Malachi Black is like cold as ice.
Mm-hmm.
They need the win more than Death Triangle does.
We'll see what happens. I think it's just going to be a fun match. I think that's the only reason it's there is to be the fun PWG 6-man tag match of the night. But we'll move on to the next one because I know that someone's got to get going. We'll move on to the next one: the Hardys versus the Bucks. The Bucks.
Bucks.
God.
And if there's an upset that the Hardys actually win, I'm going to be pissed. Because this rivalry needs to end.
It didn't even start until this week.
I can see it going either way, but I would much rather prefer the Young Bucks win this match.
It's the rivalry did start in the Being the Elite.
By the way, the Hardys tonight cut a promo that was almost word for word what Jim Cornette said they needed to say, which is really funny.
Are you saying the Bucks as well?
Yeah.
Well, that brings
Especially
us
if I think
to
Adam Cole's gonna lose.
that brings us to the most well-built match of the whole pay-per-view: MJF versus Wardlow. I think this one is pretty obvious. It's going to be Wardlow.
Wardlow. Unless MJF finds a way to cheat, which he is going to.
Are you saying MJF, Ethan? I can see it in your face.
Is this what are the stipulations on this match?
Singles match.
Count out. Double count out. No winner.
MJF wins. MJF wins by devious means, and it's the first time that Tony Khan sends word in that the match needs to get restarted because it's a potential contract up for grabs, and Wardlow wins.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. Yeah, I'm sorry because the contract thing is looming over it, so it's definitely not a tie. I gotta go War Dog. I got to. I have to. It's the one I want to see. This is the one that I'm the most emotionally invested in. It's the one I want to see. I want to see Wardlow win this fucking match. I want to see it. I want to see the pop. The crowd's there for it. It's the feel good match. It's the only clear. This is the bad guy. This is not the bad guy. It's the only match that's clear in my opinion.
Okay. Well, then we move on to the main event of the evening because we don't have a guarantee that this mixed tag match is going to happen, but if it does happen, I'm going to say Paige Van Zant and Scorpio Sky / Ethan Page win over Sammy and Ty.
Is that even in contention to be a thing?
Rampage is this Friday, and they're doing a TNT title presentation to Scorpio. So, yeah.
No, I want to see that title.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
on
they
anybody else.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, I want to see what they look. I want to see the custom title. I want to see it. I want to see what they do for Sky. I love the Miro title, the green and white.
I want Miro back so bad.
Yes.
There is not a casino,
Which makes no
royal.
fucking sense. You're in Vegas. Give me a casino battle royal.
I thought they're
Coward.
doing a pre-show. Aren't they doing a pre-show?
Nothing on there. You know who's actually missing for the card from the first time ever? Darby Allin is not on the card this month.
Holy shit.
No Darby, no Sting, no Red Dragon, no FTR, no fucking... There's a lot of people missing from this pay-per-view.
I wonder if they'll add the Royal at the last minute.
They should, because that's great. I love that Casino Battle Royal. Maybe they'll announce it on fucking Friday.
Maybe Miro will mysteriously come back as the Joker.
Cool, and let him murder everyone. I miss Miro.
Yeah, I do too.
Let's move on to the main event. The main event is Hangman versus Punk. This is the most 50-50 match I've seen on the card so far. I think Punk wins. But I wouldn't be shocked if fucking Hangman retained.
I mean, it depends. Do you really want to end somebody's title reign that, like, I don't know.
He's not the shortest reigning champion. He's held that title for 6 months now. This isn't a short reign.
Yeah, because who's the short reign? Jericho was the
Jericho
shortest?
has the shortest reign in history right now. And I think that'll be taken over by Punk. I think he honestly gets it and then he loses it all out to MJF.
And then we'll have the best heel in history.
Looking ahead, I think Punk wins, but I'm not as convinced as it was before this show.
Yep. I'm still trying to decipher the Hangman promo. Because when you watched him come out, I don't know if you guys got the same feeling. When he came out with the belt tonight, it felt like he was cognizant of the fact that this is one of the last times he's going down to the ring as the champ. It looked like he was soaking it in a little bit more. It wasn't the really fast strut to the ring. I think Punk's gonna win. I wonder if we're going to if we all agree, do we all agree that Punk's going to win?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is the final angle set up against? Are we going to see Kenny? Are we going to hear
Okada.
the coin drop?
Okada.
And Okada shows up?
Okada.
Because that would really set up that would set up Forbidden Door really, really well.
Hey Russ, it's gonna be Okada. It's not even a question at this point.
It's going to be one of two people walking through that curtain. It's going to be Okada,
Kenta,
or Kenta.
Sasha Banks. Okay.
No, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to see that, it's not going to happen.
So when does Will Ospreay show up?
He's not. I hope he doesn't, because I fucking hate Will Ospreay.
I know. UE showed up.
Why do you hate Will Ospreay?
So the other,
I think he's pretentious, annoying, and he's egotistical.
Isn't that the point of his character?
I don't even know who the fuck he is.
Outside of the character, like, he's annoying, egotistical, and pretentious. I'm good. He thinks he's the best in the world. He's not. He's really, really not. Hold on, I've still got him.
Guys, I feel like we've hit a low energy moment here. Can somebody give a reason to be excited about Double or Nothing? Trevor, why are you excited about Double or Nothing? Let's do this like it's the Thanksgiving table. What are you most thankful for? What are you looking the most forward to, Trevor?
I'm looking forward to the MJF and Wardlow match. I want to see Wardlow beat the living hell out of MJF.
Ethan?
So because Trevor says that, I'm going to have to look at something else. Obviously, I'm excited for this match. It's a Mr. Mayhem. It's the culmination of 2.5, 3 years of this just brooding energy that's going to happen. I don't think there's a way this match disappoints. Like, even if it's not great, I feel like just the energy around it is going to make this a good moment, a feel-good moment. That's going to be a big thing. I'm talking myself into being way more excited for this triple threat tag team match. I'm very excited for that. We're going to get out of the stale era of Jurassic Express holding those titles. Those titles are going to mean something again. There's going to be new teams that want to chase for them, which means we're going to see new battles. It's just a great thing to look forward to. And Starks Starks has grown on me as a competitor in the ring, which is where I felt he was lacking for a long time. And the more that he talks, the more normal and used to his voice I get, and the more I actually want to hear it. He reminds me very much of early day Miz when Miz started popping on the commentary and talking and things like that. He has the same he draws me in the same way with his voice. Like his character works that way, and I really enjoy that about him.
Clint?
6-man PWG tag. It's my favorite match. Anytime they put a 6-man on a fucking pay-per-view, it's my favorite match of the night. And those two teams, it's fucking all bangers. All 6 of the men in that match fucking hump. Those 3 are all 6 of them are great, and I can't wait to see that match. I'm mad we had to wait this long.
I can tell you right now, there's one tag team I'd love to see have the tag titles, and that's Santana and Ortiz.
FTR, baby.
Just wait for it. After FTR gets the belt, Santana and Ortiz are coming to take him from him.
Final question of the episode from me to all of you and to those who are watching at home. And the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for predictions on this part. Double or nothing. If you were pushing all your chips in, double or nothing scenario, there's one prediction that you stand by the most. It can either be the result of a match, a debut, something that you believe will happen, a match underwhelming, a match going above and beyond. What's the one thing that you would go double or nothing on for this pay-per-view?
It's that the Bucks beat the Hardys.
Okay.
I second that.
Like
The other-
gun to my head, that's the one thing that is happening is that the Bucks are beating
That
the
you're the
Hardys.
most you're the most confident that the
100%.
Okay.
If Matt and Jeff win, it's one of the biggest mistakes that AEW has made. There is no reason for the Hardys to win. They do not need
Doesn't
the
it
titles. They do
but
not need
doesn't
them.
it
I don't
rehab
want those.
them, though?
I don't give a
They've-
fuck.
Yeah, but they've really botched this, right?
I don't care. They're getting their match.
does
They're
ma-
getting their fucking match on pay-per-view. They're getting the dream match that everyone fucking wants to see. I don't care. If the Hardys beat the Bucks, it is the worst booking decision that AEW has made in a long time. The Hardys never need to go anywhere near the titles. They can have a title match on a Fight for the Fallen special Dynamite event. That's fine. But I don't want to see the Hardys hold the titles or anywhere near the fucking titles. I'm over them. I'm done. I don't care about Matt or Jeff.
Ethan,
This
double
is-
or nothing, go.
Wardlow winning. I have another one though that's kind of like it's kind of like a backwards one, and it is not gonna happen. So never mind. If I had to guess at anything other than the Wardlow one, it's Jade wins. If I had to put anything on that, she's money. They're not going to kill that streak. She's going to Goldberg this shit, but they're doing it right too. They're doing it right because they're not forcing her down our throats like they did with like Goldberg happened. So Eric Bischoff can say what he wants about Tony Khan getting lucky into stuff, but this is a better booking decision than Eric Bischoff would have made.
Wow. Okay.
Not everything he does, because Bischoff got at first not great. When he was in his stride, he was in his stride. But this is one thing. The Goldberg push was too much, too fast, and for too long. And this Jade not being consistently on Dynamite every week wrestling has actually made the title reign. It's made it seem more special when she does wrestle, but it also means that that streak, even though years or like match wise it goes longer, it's not. Hey, she's at 157 matches where she hasn't lost. I don't need that. I need the matches to mean something, and that's more impactful than how many it is. And this adds to that number.
My double or nothing prediction is that at the end of the show, we don't hear the coin drop, but instead we hear the Flight of the Valkyries. And we set up Bryan Danielson versus CM Punk
I can dig it. I can dig it.
I
can
actually do
possibly-
wonder if there's a chance that they break up the BCC very early. Wheeler Yuta's not around. If Eddie
He'll be
Kingston
back.
and Moxley kind of have like a weird bromancy thing going on in the match and it costs them, like it kind of feels like there is a chance that we get Moxley and Danielson butting heads because of Kingston. I wonder when that'll happen. I don't actually mean that final prediction. I honestly don't know. I don't think it'll be Danielson. I do want Danielson versus Punk at some point, though.
Well, we'll find out this Sunday on Double or Nothing. We'll be back, possibly Monday. We don't know yet, to go over Double or Nothing, but we will go over it next week. But we're going to sign off for now because it's late and it's a Wednesday night. So
And you know what that means.
So from Clinton Davis, Ethan Hubbard, Russell Joy, and holy shit, it's Trevor Davis. You can find us at On a Forklift on Twitter. And we
As
love you,
always,
Judy.
We love you, Judy.
And we're not a good podcast. We're not a bad podcast. I'm drunk.
We're not a good podcast. We're not a bad podcast, but god damn it, are we an okay podcast?